Alright, this is the Volvo VNL charge air coolers or intercoolers, whatever people call them. These cool the air going out of the turbo back into the motor. I happen to have one of each. Original, aftermarket, original, and aftermarket. Just wanted to share my experience with all these coolers and what year they're going to fit. They're pretty straightforward. This will start from the older model. This one will fit a 28 up until 2017 or 16. Maybe a little older than 2008. It's a big cooler. Differences in them visually, not much. Got this one, it's thinner up top. This one's thick. Their whatever part number, and the Volvo part number right there. It's a 215, 214. Usually that's what it starts from. The color is a little different, and other difference is they weigh differently. The aftermarket is heavier. I want to say about at least 15 pounds heavier than the original one. Also, probably you can see it on the camera how this one is different color from this one, and they're both used. Just aftermarket, whenever you install them, you pull a good hill and they change color. They leak real often, and in my opinion, I recommend to stick with the original. My worst experience with an aftermarket one was it lasted for less than 30,000 miles and I had to replace it again. And the guy I work for doesn't want a single aftermarket cooler or other aftermarket part on his trucks anymore, because his cooler leaked, so he saved about $400 using the aftermarket one versus the original one. After that one leaked, he lost all that money in fuel. It cost him as much as an original one. So he didn't save anything except for he wasted time. And with these newer models, you got the DPF in there. And if you have a boost leak, you get a DPF that starts to get plugged up real quick. Just generates all sorts of problems. It's the original one for the 2017 and current models. Aftermarket. So visually, top plate is different. Obviously, it's got Volvo has their number. It's a sticker. This is China number. The Volvo ones are built by Behr Company, B-E-H Air. I think that's what it's spelled. They're good coolers, but they break just like everything else, and their weak spots, and every single one that I had to deal with normally is down here. Sometimes you get a damage here from something that fell and rubbed through. Ambient air temperature sensor does that. This specific one got in an accident. That's why it's really bad. And I want to show you, this is the worst one I've seen. Worst cooler, worst crack right here. Let's see. All the way down from here. Try to show it to you. Where that black area is at the tube. Let me try to show it to you, because this is something else. Yeah, right there, there's cracks. It's really bad up here, and it just goes all the way down. This is it. I would stick with the original. It's lighter, it lasts longer. When you install them, you want to make sure nothing's rubbing on them, because they will rub through, or the condenser also, if it's bowed in from anything really. It will rub the condenser and the cooler through. Anything that moves is going to rub through on these trucks. And last, I'd like to share, if you have, so this is an $1,000 cooler, maybe a little more, depending if you have an account at the dealership or not. This one is a little cheaper because it's aftermarket, but this one goes on the new models, but you can use this one on that one. I mean, you can install the smaller cooler because it's cheaper and use it on the older model, but you have to modify the charger pipe and the mounting bracket, because you can see there's a bigger distance from here to here. This crack, hook here, it's a big difference. I'll show you it on a truck real quick. Okay, so this is a truck that calls, by the VIN number it calls for the bigger cooler, but if you look at the radiator right here, that threaded hole, you can take that bracket and mount it up here, and then you can install, well, and then that's one part, and also up here the shoulder from the cooler is not a lot, but it's about this much shorter. So if you've upgraded your pipe from those bands to these clamps, you can loosen them all up, loosen the whole pipe up. Here you don't need to loosen anything here, just the rubbers over here, and you can pull them out evenly and compensate for that. It's all doable. I did have to do that on a few trucks. It runs perfectly fine. For me it worked. It should work for everybody else.